How important is the diameter of your fishing line? Should you even worry about it? Whoa! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. January 13. January 13 already. We're going to be looking at the book of Jimmy. I just had to say that. The book of James, not the book of Jimmy. 1:12. The book of James, 1:12. When people are tempted and still continue strong, they should be happy. When people are tempted and still continue strong, they should be happy. After they have proved their faith, God will reward them with life forever. When you're tempted, you ought to be happy if you stayed strong, because God will reward your faith with life forever. Here's what I wrote about that. Why me, Lord? How often have we all uttered these words in time of struggle and testing? Why me, Lord? Why me? What is all this going on? I wonder sometimes on the lake how many things can go wrong out there tournament fishing. It just seems like one thing happens and another happens and another and another. You've all been there. I look up and I say, God, if this is a test, I'd rather take a written. We can either react to these trials with frustration, anger, even bad language, or we can react with patience. God promises to bless us when we patiently endure. That's the sentence that you want to remember for today. That's it right there. God promises to bless us when we patiently endure. A day of fishing is seldom perfect, just like a day doing anything else is seldom perfect. How we handle those breakdowns or tests, that's what's important. Very seldom will you live a perfect day. How we handle those breakdowns or tests is what's important. We can be patient and we can be blessed, or we can blow it, really blow it. And what does that really accomplish anyway when we blow it? Generally, just lets us blow off a little steam, and that's about it. Doesn't make things better. Often it makes things worse. I've been known to throw things sometimes when things get really bad. I've been known to break high-dollar fishing rods when things go bad. And when it's all over, I should have been patient instead. All right, here's our tip for today. This is a really good one, too. This is a great tip to think about right here. Check the diameter of your fishing line. Check the diameter of your fishing line. Different lines have different diameters, even in the same pound test. Different lines have different diameters, even in the same pound test. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. I grabbed a couple of spools of line before I came out here this morning. This is a 15-pound test and 15-pound test Grand Slam Select. This is 12-pound test Grand Slam fluorocarbon coated. So in other words, this Grand Slam Select is a copolymer line. This fluorocarbon coated is the exact same line, but it's got fluorocarbon on top of it. We're going to look at the diameters on this. I look at the 15-pound test line. A good rule of thumb to think about is if you're using 15-pound test line, your diameter should be about 0.15. That's about what it should be, about the same. And this diameter is 0.15, exactly 0.15. You look at it in millimeters, 0.037. But 0.15, that's the easiest thing to remember for those of us here in the United States. So 17-pound test line should have a diameter of about 0.17. 25-pound test line, same, about 0.25. Now, if you look at line that says, say, 14-pound test, and the diameter is 0.20, they're actually kind of fooling you. It's really not 14-pound test line. It's about 20-pound test. They're calling it 14 because they'll hear people say, that's the strongest 14-pound test line in the world. Well, it's not really 14-pound test. It's just kind of a sales pitch. So it's really not a truthful way to look at line. So if you look at line diameter when you're buying fishing line, this is going to let you know about what it is. Now, we'll look over here at this fluorocarbon coated. We'll look at it, and it's 12-pound test line. The diameter is 0.13. So in other words, it's just a little bit over the 12-pound. Does that mean it's 13-pound test line? Well, what it actually means is that extra 1/100th is the fluorocarbon coating that's on top of the 12-pound test line. So it's 12-pound test fishing line with a 0.100 of a fluorocarbon coated on top of that fishing line. So anyway, that's what you want to do. So look at your fishing line diameter when you're out buying fishing line. If you see one where the diameter is much, much larger, that means that they're just kind of trying to fool you. It's really not If it's 10-pound test, it says 0.14 or 0.15. It's really 14 or 15-pound test line. They're just trying to fool you. So make sure that your fishing line diameter size is relatively the same as what that pound test is, and that way you'll know exactly what pound test line you got. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. Beautiful day here in Oklahoma. Remember, I love you.